live poolside in Dubai. This is The Breaks. Hey everybody, and welcome back to The Breaks. We are back for another episode here. We have some great content for you guys today. Some Optic football coming at you. And before we do that, Joe, you got a special shout out tonight?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we were just watching the Yankee game, and Judge finally hit his 62nd home run. So, owner of the American League and Yankees all-time home run record. Super awesome, historic. Love to see it.
And in an era with very few memorable records, this is really this is meaningful. This means something.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And with Pujols obviously getting to 700 as well, just great stuff, great clean stuff for baseball. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get right into the Optic. We're just opening up a blaster today. Obviously looking for a downtown. Gonna get these not necessarily odds, but what we're looking for here up in the camera in a sec. Sean, you want to recap the week in football a little bit?
Yeah, so it's been a tumultuous couple weeks in the NFL. There's some big stories this week, but none bigger, I think, than maybe Geno Smith and the Seahawks. Which, if you were listening, if you were one of our first fans, you would have gotten that take first because I was big in on Geno and the Seahawks before the season. I loved DK before the season. He's had some great fantasy football performances. Unfortunately, I lost faith before I could cash in. But my good buddy in crime, Joey Ballgame, now has him. We were able to pull off a deal.
Yes. Very happy about that. Very happy to have DK on the squad.
But one of the biggest things people are talking about, Joe, is kind of the Seahawks rust. They're a tale of two teams this year. And there's my guy Cortland Sutton, a big player for my team.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton. And then there's going to be our first rated rookie, Greg Rosario, Buffalo Bills. And then another rated rookie, going to be silverback here, Tommy Tremble. Nothing too crazy just yet. Back to what you were saying there, Sean.
I like Tommy Tremble. That's just me, though. But yeah. Geno and the Seahawks, Russ in Denver. I had Russ as my MVP pick before the season, so you would have gotten the Geno pick, but you also have gotten the Russ pick, and I hand up, I'm wrong on that one. But Joe, these two teams, they're going to be on a collision course all year. We talked a little bit before the season about how the AFC West might be a power, not looking as much like that anymore, especially after this Javonte injury. How are you feeling about the Seahawks, Russ in Denver, these two diverging stories?
All right. So yeah, I mean, I just don't love Denver the rest of the season. Russ has been a bit of a flop so far, obviously. Little corny on some of the socials,
as he always is.
Yeah, as we're looking at Jonathan Taylor, who's also had a bit of an underwhelming season so far and a bit nicked up with injury right now, and TJ Hockenson. We're gonna get a rated rookie, Kyle Pitts, which is awesome. Looks like we're gonna have some sort of insert back here. There's gonna be a retro series, Rich the Cannon Gannon. Nice looking card there. Nothing too crazy, but we do love having Kyle Pitts, even though he is not necessarily having too crazy of a year. So
yeah, that's a way nicer card than he is having of a year. But we're not going to talk about Kyle Pitts too much. Yeah. But honestly, the Denver offense is very Pittsian, if you would. Not exactly the most explosive so far. My boy Cortland Sutton has definitely been holding it down, but especially with the loss of Javonte. These two teams, they're going in different directions. Is it crazy to think that we could see the Seahawks in the playoffs and not the Broncos, Joe?
I think maybe at the end of the day, neither of them make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. However, I think obviously that would be way more disappointing for the Denver Broncos, considering the expectations. That's pretty clear.
And the price they paid to acquire Russ, really a lot.
Definitely.
And speaking of prices people paid in the offseason, Joe, the Dolphins went all in on Tua. Another really gruesome injury this week to a promising young quarterback. Really disappointing to see. But
and we have a Jalen Darden. Yeah. I mean, look, he should not have been playing in that game. Nope. And we're not neurologists. But it's just an unfortunate situation. And as we look ahead, Teddy Bridgewater is going to be manning that offense. I don't think that that's the worst option. I always like Teddy Bridgewater. But for at least a few weeks, he is going to have to hold it down, and that is going to be a slight downgrade while Tua is getting healthy.
Yeah, Joe, what do you think this offense is going to look like under Bridgewater? Because I think, you talk fantasy, I think the fantasy guys, Tyreek is still definitely a top option. Ugh, tough stuff.
Tough stuff. First pink one there of 3 in the blaster.
One of the surprising cuts of the offseason by Minnesota. A lot of people had a lot of Kellen Mond stock.
Yeah, the infamous Kellen Mond stock. Well, if anybody would like it, it'll definitely be up for sale.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. But Teddy, Tua, the Dolphins offense. We said it a little bit last week. I had called that out. It's just like, look, don't think that they're just gonna go scorched earth on everybody the rest of the year just because it was this crazy game. I certainly was never predicting this. I'm not one to root for or enjoy injuries at all.
Absolutely not.
But
Elijah Mitchell rated rookie, another guy who had unfortunately suffered an injury.
What's that on the back there?
Let's take a peek here. Looks like we are gonna have a Gridiron Kings Josh Palmer rookie. So we are no shortage of rookies per se, and then slip back to CeeDee Lamb. I believe that is going to be a silver.
Nice.
Some nice shine to it there.
It's a nice Josh Palmer though. Guy's stock's going up.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's going to be I'm assuming one of your more common inserts from the set, but obviously, we're just shooting the lottery ticket for downtown. But moving on to one of the other Florida franchises would be the Tampa Bay Bucs, who have not looked really all that. There's a bunch of drama surrounding Brady. It's not great to see. What do you feel about that, Sean?
Yeah, that Sunday night football game was tough to see as a guy who's loved this iteration of the Bucs. But I think this is more of a defensive issue, which is not something we had expected. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is going to be Caleb Farley and Andre Sisco on the rated rookies.
Still nice cards, those pink cards. Wish there were better guys in terms of value. But this might sound weird, Joe, but the Bucs honestly remind me a lot of like last year's Lakers. Like where it's like
okay,
and follow me on this. It's almost like they've forgotten what made them so great. Whereas like the Lakers when they won the bubble, it was defense and threes,
right?
And the Bucs when they were winning football games, it was incredibly strong offense, tactical led by Brady, and a defense that beat people down.
Right.
And I think that the defense is just a step slower now. That might be an overreaction to how dominant Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs look. But it does. There's a lot of concerns there, especially if you have the Bucs to win the Super Bowl, if you had them in the Super Bowl, if you had them contending. There's the NFC is in general looks a bit mishappen.
But I mean, the team that's really holding it down right now, I mean, as much as I wouldn't really like to say it, is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. And the NFC beast in general. I mean, who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? I think the Bucs is just a small testament of like the parity that's gone on throughout the league this year.
Definitely, and I mean, the Giants are 3-1. The Dallas is holding it down without Dak, which is extremely important, and I'm assuming he's going to be back pretty soon. So I can't really say too much about the Commanders so far, but either way, I know they've been pushing out wins. Eagles, of course, undefeated. Not much more needs to be said. Jalen Hurts really taking a step up. As we are hitting our last pack here, let's see if we have some magic in store. And we are going to hit a rated rookie, Jamar Chase. So
nice.
That is a nice rookie.
Okay.
Obviously a base, so we're not going to fly our heads through the ceiling, but always nice to get the studs. And then the last pink one's going to be on the back. Slide it down. It is not going to be Zach Wilson. It's going to be Michael Carter.
All right. Not a bad last pack.
Yeah, not bad. We'll definitely take Michael Carter and Jamar Chase. That's better than getting two safeties. But yeah,
tough look for our safeties out there.
Yeah, but obviously we know the chances when ripping Optic, it can be rough. Shooting for the downtown, but the game we play.
Still not a bad haul. Bunch of rookies. Can never be too upset about that, especially getting a Jamar.
Design's
Optics are,
always solid.
Yeah, Optics are always nice cars to look at. Fun break to do. Joe, last question before we get out of here. The Eagles, they're the last undefeated team in the NFL. Do you believe in them? Now, we are from the New York area. There might be a little bit of a bias. But do you believe in this Eagles team as a 4-0 team, someone that can compete, someone that might win the Super Bowl?
I think the way they look right now, they definitely look like the division winners, to me. As far as Super Bowl, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. I'm not ready to go there yet. There's a couple teams in the AFC that just look like powerhouses. So, but serious contender, definitely. Can't deny it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're going to be working some shows in the future here, guys. Our next show, I think, is up end of October up in Secaucus. We're going to be having a table. We're going to be working there. So keep an eye out for us. We're going to be trying to trade, buy, sell, do whatever you can do at these shows. We're trying to do it. Thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of The Breaks. We appreciate it so much.